You tested negative.
Well, thank you.
That's fantastic, and it makes me very happy. So look, just be good. That's all we're asking, okay? Nothing's going to happen to you today. We'll just give you a reset and just be good. Don't pick up a new case.
Honor. It's very tight. I'm not a flight risk. I'm not gonna be. I won't go around that area. Everything I'm saying.
You're telling me I can trust you?
Yes, you can, Judge.
I know. I saw it.
And it's really cut. Like it hurts. It's like they put it real tight to the point it's like getting into my ankle.
Corey,
Yes.
take it off.
Thank you.
Just be good. It's not hard. Make the right decision when you're out there. You pick up a new case, a third case, I'm going to lose it.
Okay.
You understand?
Gotcha.
Just be good. Talk to Corey. He's going to help you out. We'll take it off now. Okay?
All right. Well, the evidence was we able to run the camera.
It's going to take.
You and I will talk about that.
Okay.
Simmons Urban. It takes time. I mean, they got talk to the people. They got to get it. It takes at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
But don't worry. Don't go back.
I won't go back.
Be good.
I will.
All right. Take care.
Thank you, Judge.
So it does I get to go get it off, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So Lori has all of them?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good morning, gentlemen. All you guys have picked up criminal cases and you all have worked out agreements with the state and with defense to end up pleading guilty to these cases. You are Mr. Webb. Mr. Webb, you stand charged with the offense of criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Mr. Rubio, you stand charged with the offense of criminal trespass as well. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. And Mr. Gerard, you picked up a number of cases while you have been on bond. However, it looks like you have worked out an agreement. You have a total of 4 cases, and it looks like they are going to dismiss 3 of them in exchange for your plea on one of them, which is the theft, where you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You now have at least 2 on your record. So what happens on the next one? Right. Instead of days, you were looking at years. So no matter a pack of gum, pack of smokes, you could be looking at years in jail. Do you understand? All of you are giving up valuable rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record and you cannot take it off ever again. Is this what you guys want to do?
Yes, sir.
Is this what you want to do, Mr. Rubio?
Answer out loud.
Yes, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to do this? Yes or no?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't do. Yes.
Do you know what's going on now?
Yeah. Not really.
You were charged with a criminal offense. You've worked out a plea bargain agreement that you want to plead guilty to a criminal trespass. If you don't want to, you don't have to. We can do something else. If you need more help, we can give you time to get any kind of help that you need.
Okay.
What would you like to do, Mr. Rubio?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never been here before.
Okay, so let's give you a second. I'll have you talk to Lori. You guys can work out what you guys want to do. If you need more time, that's okay. Mr. Webb, is this what you want to do as well?
No, I'm sorry. Plead guilty.
Plead guilty.
Yep, so they've offered you 32 days in jail. We'll give you credit for the 32 days that you've done. So basically, it's a wash. You get out today, but understand from now on, it's a minimum of 30 days in jail.
Right.
How do you plead to the offense of criminal trespass, sir?
Guilty.
I'll find you guilty and I'm going to send it to you to the agreement. Good luck to you, sir. Mr. Gerard, you've worked out an agreement. It's 5 days in jail, credit for the 5 that you've done. How do you plead to the offense, sir?
I'll plead guilty, sir.
Sir, I'll find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. If it's enhanced, be abandoned. Mr. Rubio, if you want more time, we'll give you more time. You can come back and let us know what you want to do. Okay?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, this report.
Man.
Mr. Gerard, can you please go? Good.
No, I'm not. That way it's easier for them.
Okay.
So Judge, Tristan Smith is back on the docket. He was unable to make bond over the weekend. Some issues with co-signers or whatever. Nevertheless, he's in custody. He immediately asked me about a time served. I told him I didn't like that for him.
I'm not doing it.
Well, that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I figured.
Now, the last thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna ruin his life by just racking up convictions and just going to figure it out. I'm with you, and we won't do it. So
Then I would say we probably, if we could, set the matter for trial. Because otherwise, I don't see him getting out based on what he shared with me and the one person I did talk to.
Mr. Brooker, I'm not gonna just hold him indefinitely, you
No,
know?
I know, Judge,
I mean-
I know, but he had a test today and it's like messed up. And so I'm trying to do what I can to get things moving, because otherwise he's not gonna get out. I mean, he's just gonna sit there. Apparently they have the money. It's like $380, but they don't have a cosigner. He doesn't have any adults here that's going to vouch for him. So I'm talking to children about his case, like some 19-year-old in another state is really,
Hey,
really.
Stephen, do you mind bringing out Mr. Smith, please? How's jail?
Nothing. Not.
You know, Mr. Smith, we want you to be the best person that you can be, right? And part of what you need to do and what we're here to do is teach you how to grow up, to make better decisions. You know, you have no one that's going to bond you out. These are things that you think about when you go out. If you are hanging around with thugs, people will treat you like a thug. If you, perception is reality. These are things that you think about when you're out there, whether you're going to a party, whether you're hanging out with other friends who like to smoke weed, whether you're going to a park and you know that there are people that are not good for you and you're still doing that. These are decisions that you need to look at and to think, okay, if I do this now, what potential bad things can happen? I'm on bond for a criminal case and I don't have anyone to bond out. I got a test on Monday, yet when you're out there, always consider the negative of what can happen in every decision you make. You are now in jail. You've missed a test, allegedly, because I don't know for sure. You could be blowing smoke on my pup. I would never even know, right? Am I supposed to feel sorry for you now that you have 2 assaults?
You just doing your job.
Right. But what I want you to do is I want you to learn. And you got 2 assaults and you still haven't learned. So what do we do to ensure that you now, if we let you go out in the street, you're going to make the right decisions? What do we do? Because I don't know. I want to let you out. I don't want to keep you in. But you're your own worst enemy. If I let you out, I know that you're just going to continue to make a bad decision. So we're at an impasse. It's a dilemma. It's a fork in the road.
Situation is a little different today, Judge, after a weekend in jail, seeing how easily Mr. Smith can lose his liberty if he is not 100% compliant with bond conditions. He hasn't just heard it from us now. He's actually experienced it. So that's different. And I would think that matters to him as he understands how quickly things can change in his situation.
How many times have we put him in jail?
We tested
We
him.
revoked his bond once, am I not?
No, I don't think we have any bond revocations.
Tried to, on Mr.
No, we appeared initially and he had a drug test and we had a conversation. You admonished him, but this was the first time he actually went in.
And how many violations have we had? You
There
know,
was only the one dirty UA, Judge. At least that we spoke about.
here's my other, if I were to go send you for a drug test now, what would pop up? It's a rhetorical question. I don't want you to answer. But that's what I'm also thinking about. You know, me, you're in jail, you've picked up a new case. I've repeatedly asked you to not smoke weed. You've tested positive already once. If I send you for a test now, what's going to happen? I don't know.
All of that before he had to go to jail. Now he sat in jail and can't get out. There's no way for him to get out. He understands that. So I would think that would change his mindset. He's intelligent and he understands, but still 17 years old has to sometimes hit their head to learn and understand what those consequences really feel like.
Living now.
I still with my best friend, and uncle, Timber Forest. I just started staying there, like 2 days before I came to court.
Don't even have a stable home.
Well, the order and the request of the state was to stay away from grandmom and don't go there and don't ever go back. So he
Have
hasn't.
any other parental figures out there?
I don't really know too much of my family. Yeah, just pretty much, I don't know too much of my family. They really don't want nothing to do with me. So I just be alone.
And just somebody that purported to be Tristan's mother did reach out to me, but indicated that she could not help or didn't want to help, because I asked those questions too. Wasn't
And take him
prepared.
in?
No, sir. This was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So he's truly on his own. And again, the person I've been speaking to purports to live in Georgia and is young himself. Can't come here, can't do anything here. So our hope was that he was able to make bond because it is reasonable. It's a reasonable amount of money, but the bond company won't bond him out without.
But even Mr. Brooker, even if you bond out, if you continue to make the bad choices, you're going to end up right back here over and over and over. You know, he's telling me that you want to plead guilty just to get out. And I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to let you ruin your life. Because when you end up with these assault convictions, you're all but ruined. You know, do you think people hire assault convictions? You think you're going to get a job? You think you want to go to school to study this and that? It's all for naught, because when you start racking up convictions, life is hard enough as a Black young man in society today as it is. And when you start racking up convictions, it only makes the life more difficult for you. That's hard enough as it is. And you're not getting it through. If I go drug test you now, what is the result? Even after months of me preaching to you not to use. I don't want you to answer the question. What I'm trying to break through to you is that I have repeatedly told you not to use. I've told you not to hang with dogs because you're going to get fleas, and not you caught yourself a damn flea. I don't know. I want to let you out, but I can't trust you.
So where we are with it now, Judge, state made the offer. We understand your position on it, which I thought that would be the case, that you wouldn't accept that plea. So I'd like to move forward as quickly as we can.
Who is the best friend that is you're telling me that you were going to stay with? How old is this person?
She's 18.
And who does she live with? On her own?
No, she stays with her mother. Her mother, me and her mother have had a talk about me staying there. And she said that as long as, I do what I continue, well, she said as long as I continue to, keep up with my schoolwork and stuff and, keep going to school. She said she just don't want to live in her house. So as long as I continue to go to school and stay out of trouble, then I'm good there. And she understands that I have.
If I can verify that there's a parental figure at that house, I will let him out. I'm going to put a monitor on you and I'm giving you a curfew. But if you can somehow verify, Mr. Brooker, that there is an actual adult living there, it's not just an 18-year-old just hanging out, 17 and 18-year-old, then I'm down. But I got to know that there's some kind of adult figure there so that we know there's at least some kind of supervision, not 17 and 18-year-old hanging out with each other, because that's a disaster in the making. I don't want any more disaster. So if you can verify that, I'm down. But I'm going to tell you now, you will be reporting here to me while you're on bond, and I'm going to test you on a weekly basis to make sure that you're not using. The next time you test positive, so help me. Do you understand? You pick up a third case, I'm going to lose it. The little hair that I have left will be gone because that's how upset I will be. Do you understand? Don't smoke weed, and I want proof that you're enrolled in school full time. Do you understand, Mr. Smith? The only way is that I know that there's a parental figure here, so you have at least some kind of someone watching out. Okay, so
Thank you,
we
sir.
got time. I mean,
Okay.
I'm here. You have my cell phone,
I do.
right? So just text me, and even if it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we can work it out.
I'll work on it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Good morning, Mr. Jones. Do you have a lawyer today? Tell me what you're doing about that. What are you doing about that?
Trying to find one.
How old are you?
17.
You're 17.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you're doing with yourself these days, Mr. Jones.
I'm trying to get a job.
Did you graduate from high school? Oh, this is no good. We're going to work on that. I'm going to give you a lawyer today, Mr. Jones. And I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and you're to come back. If you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. This is no good. You're not working. You're not going to school. You're 17. This is not a good way to start life, man. So I'm sending him for a test now, and then we'll have him come back, and then I'll give him a lawyer. All right, take a seat for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To be judged.
I will test you 45 days from today. You saw already what happens. We're not here to play games. You need to leave here better than you came. The first way that happens is for you to get into school. You need your high school diploma. You cannot go through life without, at a minimum, a high school diploma, because you will never, ever make any kind of money. Do you understand? So that's part of the deal now. I'm going to have Mr. D work with you to be able to do it. I have a bunch of paperwork I can give you to enroll into free classes to do it.
I gotta get my GD. I can't go back to school. I'm too old.
That's okay. I have programs available for you that are free to help you do this, so you don't have to use money.
Yes, sir.
We have resources. All you need to do is show the effort that you want to get it done, and you can get it done. But at a minimum, you need a high school diploma. Going through life 17 without this and doing nothing, either working, this is not a good way to start, because you're going to end up invariably, like here, life is hard enough as it is. And if you don't have money, if you don't have an education, if you don't have some kind of prospect going forward, life is really going to go down the tubes. I'm telling you, life is miserable without money. That's why people get divorced so much. People always fight because they ain't got no money. When you don't have money, it's a really miserable experience. This life is a good journey. It could be a great one, or it could be miserable. Do you understand, Mr. Jones? The first thing, no more smoking weed. If you stop as of today, when I test you the next time, you should be negative. If you are, we will all be jumping up and down and happy. But if you test again positive, it's not going to go well. Do you understand? You're on notice now. Number one. Number two, I'm going to bring you back in about 2.5 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to start enrolling into a GED program. Do you understand? Who do you live with now?
And my cousin.
Do you have a mom and dad around?
I don't know none of my people. I got a doctor. I don't know none of my people.
Okay. If you ever need anything, we're here for you. If you want a job, we can try to help you find one. But you need to get into school. You need to get an education. Knowledge is power, and it'll take you places.
I got GED. Go to school, but I don't got no transportation. It's too
You
far.
can do anything online. You should be able to do everything. Do you have a computer, or do you have a phone or something?
I got a phone, but it's not on. Straight, I just got out of juvenile. Just got off probation the other day. I'm still trying to find my way.
Where's Shatori?
Do you need a list of classes?
Well, we got to find a way for him to do it, because he doesn't have a phone, doesn't have any kind of resources. Is Shatori in her office?
I just teased her. Corey said his phone froze and he just logged into it.
Oh.
Too old. I already tried to go back to school.
I'm using that word ain't.
I don't have.
Same thing.
Can't read. Can't.
I'm using that word.
From where I stand, I can't.
Listen, there's no excuse. I'm going to give you papers now to give you a list of providers that will give you a free phone. I'm also going to give you a list of ways for you to be able to get your GED. We will help you as long as you come here and show us that you want to do it. If you stay out there and make wrong decisions by picking up a new case, if you become a danger to my community, I'm going to put you in custody. You now know that there's no one that's going to bond you out. You're out of jail now because I gave you a free bond. But if you become a danger to my community, if you violate conditions, I'm going to put you in, and you have to realize and know no one is going to bond you out. So the next time you go to jail, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until either this case is over or something else happens. Think of that when you're out there in the free world. You're out there now on our bond. If you violate conditions, you pick up a new case, you end up back in here. It's not going to happen. You'll not get another free one. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So if you're out there and you see people are acting like thugs and they're making the wrong decision, hey, come on, man, let's go hit this place up or let's go. And you know that they're making the wrong decision, don't go. Be a man, stand up for yourself, know when to make the right decisions. I don't know if you have ever had someone to push you in life. I'm going to try to do it now to make you the best person that you can be. But I can't do this alone. I need your help. Do you understand? You only get a couple shots in life to make the wrong decisions to where it becomes so catastrophic, your ass is stuck. You're now at that crossroads. All right, Shatori, what do you got?
Yes, sir. Basically, we can get a cell phone and a tablet. You just have to work and both of these right now.
I can read it.
If you ever need anything, come back to us here. I'm going to try to give you everything I can, but don't go out there and make the wrong decisions. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, do you mind giving him that? And then did you bring the paperwork as far as GED as well?
Yes, sir. Here's one.
We're giving you paperwork. All you have to do is go apply, put some effort into it. They'll give you a phone. They'll give you a tablet. We'll set you off 3 weeks. When you come back, show me what you've done to start working on your GED. Mr. Jones, make us proud. Don't make the wrong decisions. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Jones, make us proud, man. Good morning, Ms. Johnson. Do you have a lawyer today? Tell me what you're doing about that. You need a lawyer, 100%. You may have had one for magistration, meaning when you first were arrested, but that doesn't carry with you to the end. What do you do for a living, man? What kind of money do you make a month? Or let's do this. I'll have you fill out an application. I'll see whether you qualify. I need to know everything about you, how much money you have coming in, how much money you have going out, how many kids you have, and then I'll see whether you qualify. Okay? All right. Do you mind? Please? All right. So let's start. I don't remember anything about the case. So if you don't mind me reading what happened, please.
So,
Okay.
you wanna?
Oh, so for this case, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance in Harris County, Texas, where the complainant and the witness stated the defendant had been texting and posting on Instagram about wanting to fight the complainant. The complainant and the defendant were inside an apartment when the fight began. The witness stated she observed the defendant to have a small sharp blade in between her knuckles when hitting the complainant. The defendant punched the complainant in the face, causing lacerations and pain, and the defendant told officers that the complainant believed that the defendant was with the complainant's ex-boyfriend, which is what started the fight.
Fight and there's a blade and it just,
We are going to get this case re-indicted most likely because she was also pregnant at the time.
Yes, Judge.
And,
okay, what do you want?
I'm just requesting that for the time being, the bond conditions be amended to no contact with her mother, Crystal Williams, due to the complainant notifying me that she has been going near the mother's residence and also threatening her mother.
Who's the complaining witness in this case?
The
'Cause-
complainant is Demiracle Williams, Judge.
okay. And does she live with mom?
She does not live with mom. They live at different residences.
Because I really don't know if I can, you know what I mean?
I understand.
So have her call the cops if she's in fear, you know, if she has anything of this nature, but I can't, on the complaining witness, okay, but on just an average other person, I don't think I can, you know?
Understood.
But like I said, if she's ever in fear, if she has any issues, tell her to call, 911, call the cops, and then they can take it further from there.
Thank you, Judge.
Be careful. I'm going to protect my community at all costs, Ms. Johnson. Do you understand? All costs. Take a seat for me. What conditions do we have now? Just no contact with the complaining witness? Morning, Mr. Blunt. Good morning. We finally got you. You could run. We're gonna get you at some point. It's the long arm of the law, as they say, you know? Shh. What you need to understand, though, is that from now on, you and I will probably not be dealing with each other if this continues. You're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're also charged with assault of a family member. Both of those carry enhancement penalties, meaning that you're now will be facing on this assault. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, meaning that you can never own a gun or ammunition as a result of this. The other thing is that you can never pick up a case like this again. You do? Even so much as grabbing someone's arm and just squeezing to, even if it hurts, you're now looking at a third-degree felony, a minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison. And if you've been to prison before, if you've got a third degree on your record, they can enhance that to a second degree. They can make it maybe to a 15 to life case. You got 2 pen trips, you could be looking at a 25 to life case. You pick up a serious felony. The thing that you have failed to understand yet is that perception is reality. And when you get in trouble, you got to understand, it's always gonna, you understand. You give up a lot of rights by entering into these agreements today. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, you're a possible immigration consequence. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never take this off. The other thing that you also need to understand is that you're pleading guilty to this DWI second, a third DWI. You're looking at a felony DWI, and then it's 2 to 10 in the penitentiary, another third degree. You get into a car, you get pulled over. What do you think an officer's going to do? You think they're going to give you a hard time? Probably. So don't give them the ammunition to give you another headache. How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated, second offense? How about the assault of a family member? You understand that there's affirmative finding. So another one of these, no matter how trivial it may be, you're looking at up to 10 years, huh? All right, I'll find you guilty on both cases. I'm gonna follow the agreement. It's 7 days in jail on one or on both cases, and we'll give you credit for the time that you've done. I am gonna suspend your license for a year on the DWI. Don't drive until you get a license. You will perpetually go back to jail until you get everything straightened out with regard to driving. If you don't have the registration, you don't have a license, eternally right back and forth, back and forth. Do you understand? It's not easy to do things the right way. And you get rewarded when you do. Good luck. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Harold.
Judge, on the second case, the kid that said it was gonna get pointed, I guess you have to sign.
I made it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll attach you.
It came on email, just saying.
So, yeah, we'll attach you. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much, Harold.
Did you want to break?
Good morning, Ms. Lepson. Ma'am, you were charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On December 28th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a target in regard to a theft in progress. The officer made contact with the complainant, the loss prevention officer, who stated the defendant entered the store, grabbed some Advil, went to the beauty department, put 2 lip glosses on top of the cart, made her way to a different aisle, picked out 5 air wicks, placed 4 of those air wicks in her purse, and grabbed 7 candles. The loss prevention officer further stated the defendant placed a bag over the candles to conceal them, went to grab eggs and hangers, and the complainant only paid for the eggs and hangers and the Advil at self-checkout. And the complainant observed the defendant pass points of sale without purchasing the other items concealed. The total was $188.83.
Got it. All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go to any target. If you violate this condition, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? What do you do for a living, ma'am? What kind of money do you make a month? Do you have any children? No? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am? I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. I need to know everything about you. I mean, you have to meet the federal poverty guideline to be given a court-appointed lawyer. So I need to know everything about you, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, how much money you have in the bank, stuff of this nature, and then I'll take a look whether you qualify. All right? Please. You were Jessica Sanford. Ms. Sanford, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On September 29th, 2023, officer was dispatched to a disturbance call in Harris County, Texas, and met with the complainant, who stated he asked the defendant to leave his apartment multiple times, but she would not comply. The complainant had video footage of the defendant refusing to leave and mentioning something about darkness inside of him. And the complainant and the defendant were in a relationship, but the complainant had ended things earlier that day. The defendant locked the complainant out of his apartment, and the complainant showed officers an injury on the back of his neck that appeared to be nail scratches. The defendant barricaded herself in the apartment, refusing to leave. So in this case, Your Honor, the injury caused by the defendant, according to the complainant, would be the nail scratches on the back of his neck that he showed the
You
officer.
say you never told me that an officer said this, that he told this to an officer?
Complainant just showed an officer an injury on the back of his neck that appeared to be nail scratches. Let me read the full DIMS, Your Honor, and see if he mentioned something else.
We don't work on hunches.
Yes, Judge.
I never heard anything that don't, please.
So the full DIMS reads that the complainant advised of an injury he had on the back of his neck area that appeared to be nail scratches done by the defendant with her hands, causing the complainant to feel pain. Yes, Judge. And I apologize for.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're
Yes, Judge.
in the up and up. Ms. Sanford, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do we know whether he wants to have contact with her or not? I know that you want to talk. I've got a bunch of DAs here. Whatever you say, they're going to use it against you. Now's not the time. You will have the opportunity to fight. I promise.
I don't want to fight, sir.
Okay, don't say anything. I know, please. I've got a bunch of DAs here. Whatever you say, they're going to use it against you. Just don't.
We've attempted, but we're unable to get a hold of her at this time.
Okay. So tell me, Ms. Sanford, are you working at this time?
But
I only want to know, are you working?
I haven't been able to because since I've been arrested, I haven't been able to get a,
I will provide you a lawyer today. I don't want you to say anything. I'm going to give you a lawyer. You can tell your side to the lawyer. Lawyers can talk to the DAs for you, but I've got so many people here. I mean, all these people will be witness to whatever you say, and they'll use it against you to prove guilt, okay? So just hang tight. Give me 20 minutes. I'll give you a lawyer. And you can tell your side of the lawyer, okay? I want you to understand, though, I don't want you to have contact with this person because I don't know if they want to have contact with you. They've been unable to reach him. Until that we know that she or he wants to have contact with you, don't. Trust me, I'm trying to help you, okay? I promise. We're not here to do anything bad. I'm going to help you as much as I can, okay? But I need you to be patient with me, all right? Rome wasn't built in a day. Just be a little patient. Let me get you a lawyer and you can tell your side of the lawyer, okay? That's, please. All right, so what I'm going to have you do now, I'll have you sign a reset. Just take a seat in the jury box. Let me find you someone here momentarily, okay? Do you have any tissue?
Just have paper towels.
Wow, you were Christopher Flores. Mr. Flores, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On December 29th, 2024, an officer initiated a traffic stop after observing a vehicle change lanes 2 separate times while failing to signal. The vehicle was speeding 58 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone and passing another vehicle in a no passing zone. The officer made contact with the driver, the defendant, and made contact with the driver and the defendant, who is the rear driver's side passenger. Upon contact, the officer observed in plain view the magazine portion of an AR-15 sticking out from underneath the driver's side seat in the back passenger area. The driver denied having any weapons in the vehicle. The officer walked back to his patrol vehicle to write a traffic citation for the driver, and when he returned, the magazine had been moved and was now lying next to the defendant in the back seat. The officer asked the driver again whether he had any firearms, and he stated he had 2 inside of a bag in the vehicle. The defendant stated that the guns were his and told the officer where the bag was. The officer located a bag containing 3 guns in the seat next to where the defendant was sitting. 1 AR-15 pistol lacking a serial number and 2 Glocks.
Mr. Flores, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? If you violate this condition, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'll put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. How old are you, sir?
18, sir.
You're 18 years old. What do you do for a living?
I used to work. Right now,
Where do you go to school?
I'm like in school, sir.
Where do you go to school?
Courtroom High School, sir.
Okay. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today, Mr. Flores, but no smoking weed, no possession of weapons. I'm telling you now, I'm going to be all over it. So if I find that you're violating any of these conditions, there's only one place you're going to go. You'll be doing school with me and back. Do you understand? All right. I need you to fill out an application for me. Or hold on a second. I've got one. I already got one. So what we'll do now is I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we have you meet with a lawyer and meet with Felicia for your bond conditions, and then we'll get you here shortly. Come on.
Right this way. Judge Randy.
Good morning, Mr. Ridley. Sir, you are charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On December 29, 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance in a weapon at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant standing in front of the complainant vehicle, preventing her from driving away. The officer made contact with the complainant, who stated she and the defendant have been in a dating relationship for about 2 years, and the complainant stated she and the defendant got into an argument in his residence after he mentioned something about her children. The complainant stated she decided to leave and got in her vehicle, where she stated the defendant wanted his belongings out of her car, and the defendant had placed some of the groceries she bought on her car at some point. They were arguing and attempted to break her driver's side window. The complainant stated she rolled down her window to prevent the defendant from breaking her window, and that the defendant reached into her vehicle and struck her in the left side of her face with a closed fist while she was sitting in the driver's seat. The complainant stated the defendant hit her in the left side of her face several times and that she felt pain.
I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Mr. Ridley, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person. Do you understand? I will protect every person in my county. If I find that you violate any of these conditions, you become a danger to anyone else, I'm going to lock you up. Do you understand? A protective order has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, like go to the protected individual's house, have any contact with her. If you're in possession of a weapon, the state can and probably will file a violation of protective order against you. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do you understand? So get to know it and don't smoke any dope. Don't use any alcohol. How old are you? What do you do for a living?
I go to school at it right now.
Where do you go to school?
I was going to Summer Creek High School. My friend enrolled in Houston Cans Academy.
So what are you doing now? Are you doing nothing with your life?
I go to school, but
No. Are you actively enrolled in school? Yes or no?
actively, no, not right now, but
So that's what's going to happen now. I'm going to provide you a lawyer. You must either get in school full-time or get a job full-time as part of your bond conditions as well. Do you understand?
I understand, but the reason I ain't in school, right?
No matter. When you have too much time on your hands, you become self-destructive. We need you to do something with your life so that you become something of yourself and with yourself, because you turn 40, 50 years old and you ain't got some kind of education or some kind of trade or some kind of working knowledge. You're going to end up on the street, no money. And this life sucks without money. Do you understand? If you don't believe me, go look in the jails. If you can provide him a lawyer, same thing. Hold on, not done. We'll set out 2 weeks, see where we go on, and then no dope, no alcohol. All the jazz and no weapons. All right, come on.